My ex-husband's fiance removed my daughter from the flower girl role just 30 minutes before the wedding. But what my former mother-in-law did next left the entire ceremony speechless. They don't want me anymore. That's what my 8-year-old said, sobbing into my ex-husband's phone. 30 minutes before his wedding, I curled her hair that morning, sewed pearls onto her flower girl dress by hand, one at a time, until my fingers ached. Told her she'd look like a princess. She believed me. She twirled in front of the mirror and asked if princesses got nervous too. Now she was crying somewhere in that chapel, and I was driving there so fast I don't remember the road. Red lights, horns, none of it mattered, only her voice shaking on the other end of the phone. My name is Dana. My daughter is Lily. And what happened next, Mark's own mother made sure nobody would forget. Mark left me 5 years ago, said we'd grown apart. Really, he'd found Brittany, 26, and a jaw that never stopped moving. But Lily still loved her dad. So when he called and said Brittany wanted her as flower girl, I said yes. For Lily. I should have known better. I got to the chapel and a coordinator pointed me to a side room. Lily sat on the floor, dress crumpled, basket of petals dumped beside her. Brittany stood at the mirror, arms crossed, not even looking at her. What happened? I asked. Brittany shrugged. A new family shouldn't start with reminders of the old one. Then she looked at Lily like she was something spilled on the carpet. Besides, she looks too much like her mother. She said it and turned back to the mirror, checking her lipstick like she hadn't just gutted a child in a pearl dress. I turned to Mark. He was standing in the doorway. He'd heard every word. Say something, I said. He looked at his shoes. Brittany's stressed. Big day. That was it. That was his daughter, replaced by a basket of flowers. And he picked his shoes. I grabbed Lily's hand. We were leaving. That's when I saw Carol, Mark's mother, standing in the hallway, still as stone. She'd heard everything too. She didn't say a word. Her eyes moved from Brittany to Mark to Lily's crumpled dress on the floor. Something in her face closed, quiet and final, like a door being locked from the inside. Then she turned and walked away. I figured she was embarrassed. Figured she'd disappear to her seat and pretend none of it happened, the way everyone in that family always did. I was wrong. 15 minutes later, the chapel doors opened. Carol walked in carrying something long, wrapped in white satin, like she was carrying a rifle to a duel. She didn't sit. She walked straight down the aisle past 200 guests, straight to the altar where Brittany stood glowing in her $5,000 dress. Sorry I'm late, Carol said, loud enough for every row to hear. Had to get your wedding gift. Brittany's whole face lit up. She loves gifts. She loves them almost as much as she loves being looked at. She tore the satin off herself. Inside was a gold frame, a photo of Mark as a little boy, held in his late father's arms. Underneath, a brass plaque engraved, "A family is built on the children you love, not the ones you erase." Nobody breathed. Somewhere near the back, a fork clinked against a plate and stopped. Brittany stared at the frame like it might rearrange itself into something less true. Carol turned to face the guests. 200 people in their Sunday best, forks still in hand from cocktail hour. I had this made as a blessing, she said. But 30 minutes ago, this woman told my 8-year-old granddaughter she looks too much like her mother. Told her she doesn't belong in this family. A woman in the third row gasped out loud. Brittany's smile cracked at the edges. Carol, that's not— My husband left me everything, Carol said, cutting through her like she wasn't there. Every account, every property, including the trust that pays for this venue, this dress, and the honeymoon you haven't stopped bragging about on Instagram. She let that sit. Then she looked straight at her son. Not $1 of it touches this marriage while my granddaughter is treated like something to hide. Mark's face went white. Brittany turned toward him. Mark, what is she talking about? Full story on channel, link below.